Good afternoon, Northwest, and welcome to the December edition of Husky Headlines. I'm Ryan Blank.
And I'm Peter Educate.
Hey Peter, have you seen what the Wood students are creating?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Melanie tells us about this yearly project.
For the last 9 years, Northwest Wood's 2 and 3 students have been using their skills to craft toys for the charity Toys for Tots in hopes of giving back and showing support to those who are less fortunate.
What they're going to do is they're going to decide what their parts look like, decide how many pieces it's going to take to make each individual toy, and then they're actually going to go split up, and there'll be groups making, say, the body of the vehicle or sides of it or something like that. Then they all come back together, and hopefully they did it right and it'll fit together.
There's basically 2 parts to every car, so there's like a middle part that we cut 3 pieces of square wood and glue them together, and then the outsides, which are 2 much thinner pieces of wood that we glue to the outside of the middle piece. And then the last part is you drill the axle holes and put the wheels in.
Over the past 3 years of doing Toys for Tots, I've kind of noticed what works and what doesn't, and how to be efficient when we're delegating different jobs to groups of students.
While the toys are part of the Woods curriculum, the students are able to give a greater meaning to this school project.
We are not buying presents to give to the children. We're actually building them. So in our classes, our advanced classes, we'll build as many as we can, kind of as quickly as we can, and give those to them as our gift.
I like this program. I'm glad that we're doing it. We've done it all 3 years that I've been here, so I think it's a great thing that we do is using our skills in an assembly line to learn how to manufacture, and using that to donate and do something good for the community.
It might be the only toy that these kids receive for Christmas, so we try our best to make the best toys so that we impact these kids as best as we can.
It's one of my favorite units, and I've always enjoyed it, so I hope they keep doing it.
I think it's important that Northwest does this program because for a lot of students, they don't get to be involved with their community as much in school, and this is a really great way to give back. I think that us making these toys for those kids could mean a lot to them.
The neatest part about this is watching these kids use what they can do to help. There's going to be a lot of kids that don't get presents at all. We know that. It's a little different around here. We probably haven't experienced that. So to be able to just take that, what we're doing in school, what we already know, what we learn, and being able to just gift someone with a toy that they may not get any other presents is kind of a neat thing. And so that's why we're going to continue to do it. As long as I'm here and the kids are willing to do that, we're going to keep doing it.
Taking part in Toys for Tots has been a long-lasting tradition at Northwest and continues to impact not only for families in need, but the students who assemble these toys as well. This is Melanie Wilkins and Ben Johnson for Husky Headlines.
Mary tells us about Kennedy Wells' mom's unique organization.
As the holiday season draws near, the Oomph Salon begins to make preparations for the Halo Project, a program for foster kids to receive free haircuts throughout the year.
I started about 3 years ago when I first opened the salon. Before I worked here, I worked by myself in a private suite, and I would volunteer at a battered women's shelter doing hair for women and the children. And so when I opened the salon, I knew that I wanted to start something on a bigger scale. So we started the first one with just kids. We have it about every 6 weeks, occasionally depending on if there's holidays. Sometimes it'll go a little bit longer to get us closer to the holidays. Our next one is the last one for the year, so we try to put it as close to Thanksgiving as possible so the kids would look good.
It's always pretty hectic because there's a lot of kids of different ages. We have toddlers, we have babies, we have teenagers, we have preteens. They all kind of come in at once. We'll have 3 entire vans come in.
For the hairstylists that volunteer, I think at first they come in thinking, oh, I'm going to do some haircuts. They realize that it's much larger than just doing haircuts on these kids. It's a consistency thing for them. They know that every time they come here that, that I'm here. It's kind of a point of stability for them.
A haircut to you and I may be a haircut, but to them it's humanizing the whole foster care situation.
There are a lot of kids at Northwest who are actually foster kids, so I feel like it would help a lot of our own friends and peers. It would help them if we volunteered for stuff like this.
Come out and try volunteering. See the smile, look at the faces when they walk in and look at the faces when they walk out. There's lift in their step, a lightness to them that doesn't compare. It can't compare.
They would see the reward of working with kids from hard places and see that sometimes life is not as grand as we think. My oldest son comes in and it has really transformed him to appreciate life a little bit more.
It's easy to get caught up in all your own issues and all your own concerns, and this, you can put your energy into something else and you realize your issues really aren't that big, and it's a good feeling.
I've learned that there's people that do care. Leah's one of those. You're gonna get me. There are people that care and that will support you even if they don't know you individually. They will come together and will help.
They come from pretty bad situations, and to have something that makes them happy and makes them feel good about themselves is pretty big.
I hope that they feel confident in themselves and feel like a part of something, because that's what we want. We want them to feel like they're a part of a family, basically, and we want them to feel safe.
To become a part of the Halo Project, contact the Oomph Salon for more information. This is Mary Keone Nia and Matthew Mayer for Husky Headlines.
Peter, can you believe it's already the holiday season?
No, the semester's gone by so fast. Mary quizzes the school about the upcoming holidays.
As the winter months approach, individuals prepare for the holidays. We hit the halls to test Northwest on their knowledge and skills regarding this season. How many days are in the holiday of Kwanzaa?
8.
8, 16, lower?
10. 28.
7. 14. 7.
Okay, so I'm gonna hand you this bag. It's Santa's bag, and it has an object inside of it. You can't look inside of it, but you're gonna feel and guess what it is.
Okay.
You can't look inside of it.
Shaylee.
There's a concept.
Kind of feels like a dog toy. It feels like something you would tenderize meat with, like.
Mittens!
That's why it's literally a mitten. It's a mitten, yeah.
It's a hard mitten like this.
Yeah.
Is it like a wooden fish?
It's a
What do you think it is?
bathtub duck.
Oh.
Okay.
No way.
What Christmas beverage is known as milk punch?
Eggnog?
Candy.
Eggnog.
Milk and cookies.
That eggnog stuff?
Yeah. That eggnog stuff. That's called gelts. Those are used for the holiday of Hanukkah. And I'm gonna have you stack as many as you possibly can on Maya's face.
Oh, you got a huge forehead. Why can't we do it on you? Shaylee, quit moving.
I'm not.
Maya, stop laughing.
This is like when I had to put cheese balls on my face.
Don't even look at it.
No!
No, bro, you made me laugh.
This is one of the weirder things I've done.
Who set the record? Shaylee, no.
Jinxed it. What you're gonna try to do is pop those balloons with them under your shirt.
This is gonna hurt.
That's gonna hurt. Oh! Did it hurt?
Nah, it didn't hurt.
I'm not strong enough. Squeeze me. Squeeze me.
If you find yourself getting bored over winter break, gather some friends and family and challenge them to a game of Stack the Gelt or Santa's Belly. This is Mary Keone Nia and Jillian Atterbury for Husky Headlines.
Hey, Peter, fetch.
Ryan, I'm not your dog. You can't train me like Ellie Cole can. Allie gives us a look into this student's hobby.
Flips and handstands are agility moves most attribute to a gymnast, but for freshman Ellie Cole and her dog Augie, these are tricks that take them to competitions across the state.
I got my interest in dog training from my friend who rode horses, and she'd train her dog to jump over things, and I thought, that's really cool. I want to do that with my dog, and I just really fell in love with it.
We chose to get a dog because Ellie had been asking for one for years. And after her teachers kind of prodding with us, saying, you know, it would be really great for her personally, it would be great for your family, kind of finally decided to dive in and just hope it all worked out.
He can do all sorts of things. He knows all the obstacles and agility. He can also do like rebounds off me, he can spin, he can jump over my arms, things like that. He also knows how to like fetch things for me. If I drop a pencil, I taught him to get it for me.
Cole and Augie have gone to many competitions together and won numerous awards.
We compete in AKC, which is American Kennel Club dog agility competitions, and also UKI dog agility competitions at All-Star Dog Sports, which is in Blue Springs. And we do that every couple of months. My biggest accomplishment, I'd say, is the fact that I got a dog from the shelter who's a mutt and trained him to do these things and succeeded and got first place. Because most people who train their dog have purebred dogs from breeders who are just bred to be good at training. So I feel like my biggest accomplishment is just getting him to do it since he's such an underdog.
It's a good icebreaker to have a dog sometimes, and Ellie's a really quiet girl. He helps her bridge that gap in communication with other people a lot of times. The biggest thing Ellie's learned from dog training is that if you work towards something and you practice it, you can succeed at it. Prior to this, we tried sports, we tried dance. There were things that we tried with her. None of it took. She didn't want to practice it, she didn't want to work hard at it. And so when we found this one thing that, you know, she can work hard at and see success in, that's huge.
I think we have a very special bond because we work together every day. I teach him and he teaches me, and it's sort of that kind of bond.
Through hours of training, Cole and Augie have developed a friendship that goes beyond that of pet and owner. This is Allie Brenneman and Melanie Wilkins for Husky Headlines.
Next, I got a preview of the girls basketball program as they head into their first season with a new coach. As first-year girls varsity basketball coach, Matt Schulman takes over a team that went 7-14 a year ago. He is quickly implementing changes that will make the program his own.
There's a lot of excitement, not just having a new coach, but I think the girls are excited this year just because there's a lot of positivity going around the team. There's a lot of expectations that I've placed on them, and I think they've kind of placed on themselves to improve.
I'm really excited about Coach Schulman. I think the ideas that he has, I think that his energy and enthusiasm are something right now that Husky basketball needs.
We have like a lot more energy during practice, and just the drills we do are different. We do a lot of more harder stuff that keeps us energized and focused. When Schulman talks to us, he expands on what he's saying, and he just wants to make us better and make us love the game as much as he does.
Coach Schulman, he's a lot younger, so he brings a lot more energy. He also has more of a fast-paced game, which is different. In previous seasons, we tend to slow down the ball and focus a lot on shooting threes, but I think this season we're going to speed up the game, work on our fast break, our transition offense, and we're going to play a lot more press defense and man-to-man.
With Schulman's arrival, he is creating a new culture for the girls to buy into and be a part of.
The 6 core values for us are going to be appreciation, enthusiasm, energy, competitiveness, teamwork, and accountability. Those are 6 things that we're going to kind of build off of. Each day of the week is going to have a different emphasis.
Core values establish what you want your girls to accomplish as a team, as individuals, and throughout a program, top to bottom, whether that's our freshmen, our C team, our JV, our varsity. It's being made very clear that we are a program, not 4 separate teams. And having those core values and talking about those core values at all 4 levels are building the program toward the future.
I feel like it takes it outside of just basketball, and I think that you keep those in mind whether you go day to day or even at practice. I feel like it makes everyone a better person.
The core values will be good because it's going to give us something to really focus on and work towards. So if we have those and we know what they are, we have an expectation and we can keep ourselves accountable.
I want Coach Schulman to be here for the long haul. My expectations are, he's going to be all in with our kids. He's going to be all in with our coaching staff, and thus far, he has been all in times 10. My big expectation is that Husky basketball in the next 5 years is going to be something that people are talking about.
Building an excitement around girls basketball. The Dog Pound, I don't think, comes to a ton of games. I would love for them to come and be able to watch what we do and see the improvements that we make and be excited to go to a girls basketball game. Building a community that's going to support that program as a whole, I think would be something that we really focus on.
With the new attitude and values Coach Schulman has placed on all 4 teams, the players are excited to enhance the future of girls basketball. This is Ryan Blank and Peter Educate for Husky Headlines.
Now for this month's edition of Senior Profiles.
Played with Coach Fritz from about 3rd grade up until high school also, so he's really taught me from a young age how to be a leader and how to play basketball, and he's just really been a big influence on my life.
I really like our team dinner that we have, where we all normally we get pasta and we go to someone's house and we just play a ton of games, and it's just a fun group of people to hang out with.
My mom has been the biggest role in my career in basketball. Just from she taught me how to play, she taught me how to shoot, same with my dad, and it just kind of been with me throughout the whole process. So they've been the biggest role in basketball.
If I was going to be stranded on
an island, I would pick Dirks to be with me because she's very witty and I know I wouldn't be bored because she always has stuff to talk about, and she's a really good problem solver, and I know that if there was a bear chasing us, she'd probably fight the bear.
When I'm struggling, I just calm down and realize everything's going to turn out fine, have a lot of good teammates, and everything should work out pretty good.
Peter, are you going to college to play sport?
Ryan, we all know my athletic abilities stop at leg day. But Abby tells us about these athletes that are going to continue playing sports in college.
National Signing Day is an important event in a high school athlete's career. On November 14th, 5 seniors, including Abby Bishop, Jade Lofness, Michaela Hanley, Haley Shin, and Christian Brown, signed to the college of their choice and committed to the next level of their specific sport.
I personally chose Central Methodist, one, for the coaches. They're probably the nicest coaches I've ever met. Just not even working with them yet, I'm so excited. I'm also extremely excited for the student-to-teacher ratio. For me, I work better and academic-wise in smaller settings.
I chose Missouri State because it was relatively close, so I'd be able to go home and my parents can come see me play. And I really like the campus and the staff.
I committed to William Woods University. I originally looked at the program because of my social work degree, but then I looked at the soccer program and that was why I ultimately picked it.
Once Academy started, I got really excited because a lot of schools did start reaching out to me. It was really exciting to get the opportunity to really envision the fact that I could go play D1 soccer at a university.
Every kid's like, I want to go D1, I want to go D1, but it's like as that time gets closer, it's like, what's going to help me? What is going to be the best for me? And halfway through, I was like, you know what, I know that D1 is a possibility, but I want to stay close and I want to be able to have a good professor-student ratio, and that's what I found.
When I went to visit William Woods first, I talked to Coach Rob, which is the soccer coach there. She told me about the program and what they did and who they played, and I looked at other schools and how their program compared to William Woods, and then I went and I practiced with the team. I saw if I could fit with the team as well.
For these athletes, their sport is about more than the game.
Softball just has made me a better person. When I was younger, ADHD was a big problem for me. Being able to go somewhere where I could get rid of that energy, but doing it in a positive way, that's what softball was for me, and that's what it is still now.
People told me I'd never get into college and I was not good enough. I wanted to play Division I, but I knew if I wanted to get my degree and play soccer, I was going to have to play at NAIA. Never give up, because it took me a couple years to get on varsity, and that was ultimately my goal. If you just work harder and harder and harder to achieve your goal, it will happen.
Even if you think it's unrealistic, then so many things can change so fast. If you really work hard, things will change.
Despite hardships in the past, Bishop has overcome them and has turned her challenges into positivity.
As a kid, I just kind of thought that moment defined everything that went on after. And I kind of was that way all through middle school, just in general. This last couple years is where I kind of came out of my shell and didn't let the moments where I messed up or struck out define who I was as a player.
While Lofness and Hanley will play soccer at the next level, Brown will attend the University of Kansas where he will play basketball. Like Bishop, Shin will continue her softball career on the diamond while she will play for Division II at Rockhurst University. This is Abby Laux and Riley Beach for Husky Headlines.
Hey Peter, since you're 18, did you vote this year?
Yeah, I did. Nick tells us the importance of politics in our everyday lives.
For many, politics is a boring topic to talk about. Nonetheless, the bills, laws, and legislative action passed by the government impacts everyone. Regardless of your political affiliation, or even whether you find it interesting, it's important to consider how these recent midterm results will impact you. Democrats took the majority in the previously Republican-held House of Representatives. The current count is now 234 seats to the Democrats, 200 to the Republicans, and 1 independent. Unlike the House, the Republicans were able to maintain control of the Senate, 53 seats belong to the Republicans, 45 to the Democrats, with 2 independent that caucus Democrat. Locally, Democrat Laura Kelly defeated Republican Attorney General Chris Kobach 47.8 to 43.3% respectively for the position of governor. In our local district, Democrat Sharice Davis beat incumbent Kevin Yoder 53 to 44.2% for the House of Representatives. Looking at these results, the question arises, what does this mean for the future of our nation? Governor Laura Kelly plans many changes for Kansas. She plans to shift the focus of our economy by removing sales tax on food, like many other states, and investing in small business. She plans to reinvest in education by providing more opportunity for trade schools and higher education. Kelly also plans to deprivatize and expand Medicaid. Regardless of your political affiliation, the results of this election will impact you. Although not being able to vote, some Northwest students find other ways to be politically active.
I'm president of the Political Science Club here at Blue Eye Northwest, and basically we meet every Friday and talk about political issues that are either hot topics or more deeper political issues that affect our society. Unfortunately, I was unable to vote this election because I was not old enough. I wasn't able to directly influence our democracy, but one way that I was impacting our election was that I was helping to work on the Students for Yoder campaign and making calls and doing surveys and canvassing neighborhoods. I mean, many of our elections only have 50% of the population coming out and voting. If we had that other 50% voting, the kids participating, we'd have much different policies and politics.
Despite differing political opinions, the right to vote unites all Americans, a right you'll soon be able to exercise in the 2020 presidential election. This is Nick Swiden and Nathan Fortune with Husky Headlines.
Now we go to Abby and Ben for this month's edition of Northwest Snapshots.
Early in November in 2014, Northwest math teacher Teresa Hogan was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. Now, 4 years later, she tells her life-changing story about how this disease and the struggle that went with it gave her a new appreciation of how to live.
I had been sick off and on all first semester with what doctor thought was a respiratory infection. When they did a chest x-ray, they found a mass in my chest, and I was too stupid to even realize what she said. Oh, you need an MRI like right now. It was like a Friday night after work when she called my house to say what it probably was. I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma. Hodgkin's lymphoma is a cancer that wraps around your lymph nodes. On my third chemo, they said, okay, you're done. They disconnected all of my stuff, and I said I can't move, and they had to take me by ambulance to the hospital. After I got out of the hospital, the doctor said, you're not going back to work. You can't do everything. Chemo is very debilitating. It takes all your muscles, all your energy, all your everything. Northwest is truly a family. I know we say that all the time, but if you're on the bummer end of anything, you will truly feel it. And the rest of the departments graded my papers and made lesson plans, and they did more than I can ever pay them back for. People are far more important than things. You need to take every chance you can. You need to make time for yourself, and you need to make time for the people you love, and that's what's most important. And you just need to be a good person, and you need to care about people and show them that they're important to you. And things that you thought were oh so important really aren't that important anymore. You make time for family and for friends, and to laugh and be silly and have fun, because life's just too short.
And that's it for this month's edition of Husky Headlines. I'm Peter Educate.
And I'm Ryan Blank.
Have a great day, Northwest.
Peter, can you believe it's already the holiday season? Hey Peter, I bet our teachers at Northwest don't understand our inside jokes.
Well, Ryan, what?
Hey Peter, I bet the teachers at Northwest don't understand our inside jokes.
Like our inside jokes.
Ryan, you seem knowledgeable about sports. Have you ever...
Well, whoops, I forgot that you continue